Hi, I'm Kim. You're watching Kim Wilson TV. My channel is dedicated to helping victims of narcissistic abuse get free and stay free. Before I get going with this video, I just want to take a moment to thank our friend Rhonda very much. I really appreciate your donation to our channel's PayPal account, Rhonda. Now, if you guys are at YouTube and you're going from channel to channel, you're hearing about Patreon accounts and hearing about the need to sponsor channels. Now, this you could consider almost like watching mainstream television, where you've got to pay for cable vision. In many cases, there are quite a few physical costs associated with having a YouTube channel. Your microphones, your equipment, certain apps and things that you need to have and need to purchase. But in addition to that, having a YouTube channel, a bigger channel, for example, with hundreds and hundreds of videos, and mine would fall into that category. I believe we have almost 400 videos about narcissism here. So all of that takes a tremendous amount of time, not just in making the videos, but editing the videos, downloading the videos, and of course, you have to do a lot of research. I mean, you can't always depend on your own personal experience. Of course, I've been telling my personal story, but as a victim of gaslighting, you got to know that, I do still suffer to some degree from post-traumatic stress disorder. And of course, one of the symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder is doubting your own reality. And many times I have to fall back on research to even sort out if what I saw was real, if what I experienced was real, because gaslighting truly does cause a person to doubt their own reality, doubt their own perception, doubt the very things that you're seeing and hearing. And research plays a key role in that. I make many, many long-distance calls to psychiatrists, psychoanalysts, therapists to confirm what I believe I think I saw. And these people, of course, charge fees. So there is a very real physical cost. Now, if you don't like my channel or you don't think I've been helpful to you, please support another channel, because if YouTube hosts do not have at least their minimum cost covered, it will become very, very difficult to continue with channels. And we all need to earn a living, plain and simple. I'm not trying to get rich with my channel, but I do need to have the cost covered for that. And of course, there's a tremendous amount of time spent on a YouTube channel that isn't invested in other areas that could generate income for myself, my kids, my family. So I truly do appreciate the support. I'm sorry for harboring on it. I know you're hearing this over and over again. I opted out not to start a Patreon account because that's a pay-as-you-play kind of system, and I didn't like that. Of course, all the videos are free, but if you can make a donation to the channel, I'd greatly appreciate it. Now, Mark Dice has got one of my favorite channels. I find him to be very, very witty, and what Mark refers to it as tipping, like you would any other service provider. You would tip a waiter, you would tip a concierge in a hotel, you would tip a taxi driver or anyone else providing a service. And I kind of like that verbiage. And if you do feel so inclined to tip me, if you do like the videos, if the information's helping you, we'd certainly welcome that. So on to the video. I got a lot to tell you guys. Okay, it's kind of exciting. I'm really excited about this video. Now, I haven't done a video for a while because I have been in a state of research again. Now, of course, the last video I did, I said that I had just stuck my foot in it. I really, for the last 2 years, have been wanting to restore my career as an artist. I want to be a jewelry designer again. I want to be a designer and a creator. And I will admit, though I'm feeling pretty damn good on a daily basis, there has been a reluctance to do that. Certainly, my confidence was very shaken. I was many times ridiculed for wanting to be a designer because of my age. Trevor would say, old ladies like you don't design nothing. Nobody wants to buy things old ladies like you make, and this kind of thing. And I will tell you, though I know he's a prick, I know he's a liar, I know he's horrible, that stuff does stick with you. I'm just going to say that. It's not like I was hanging on to it, because I wasn't hanging on to it. There was no sort of, security blanket in that type of abuse. And, I know there's this kind of theory that floats around out there that, we hang on to the abuse or the negative feelings. I don't believe that, because truly I have done everything to shed them. But constantly hearing that, you're just too old, you're too stupid, you're not good enough, it definitely wears thin on your ability to feel confident about things. Now, in the back of my mind, I've realized that he was lying to me, and the aspect of that kind of stuck, I guess, was my age. I'm 57 years old. I mean, am I, sitting there with my finger on the pulse of fashion? Do I really understand, what the movers and shakers want to wear? I mean, all this stuff was going on in my head, and it was really wreaking havoc on me, and it was definitely wearing at my confidence. Now, of course, since I moved to Puerto Vallarta, I have been wanting to become more involved with the local artists, and there's tons of them from all over the world. I mean, Mexican artists, German artists, French artists, we've got Americans, Canadians, Brits, and many are fulfilling their dreams as artists. Now, of course, living in a glamorous city like Puerto Vallarta, it is excessively expensive to start your own retail shop. So it made sense to me that we came together, formed an artist incubator, a cooperative, where artists could get together and start a retail store, like a physical brick and mortar store, plus an online store. We could build a YouTube channel, teaching other people how our crafts are made and all that kind of thing. So I've been sitting pondering it for 8 months, and about a month ago I finally just launched a campaign. I started posting on the Puerto Vallarta Facebook pages and things like that, did a shout out, a call out to local artists, and man, people have been coming together. They really have. I mean, we've got leathersmiths, we've got metalsmiths, we've got photographers, graphic designers, jewelry designers, clothing designers, homeopaths, and all kinds of people just started coming together. We've had several meetings, and that's been great. Now, the big issue for me there is a lot of these people are actively working, which means they have inventory. Of course, I'm not working, hadn't been working, because I was still kind of unable to get my footing as far as creating designs goes. So after I stuck my foot in, and after people started coming together, of course, push had come to shove, I'd back myself in a corner, and the only way a project like that could work for me is if I had inventory to put in the store, to put in the online store, so I could generate sales. Otherwise, I mean, what the hell was I doing there? None of that made sense. Now, I'm going to show you where I started, okay? Because I was very nervous. I didn't even own a pair of pliers. I showed you in the last video, I did go out and I got a set. And even with the pliers, I bought a few kind of low-cost jewelry making supplies. And I knew, not having the money to launch, a huge jewelry line, I was really going to have to depend on my, imagination, on my level of creativity. Well, I wasn't quite feeling it yet. Now, years ago, I used to work farmers markets in British Columbia in the Okanagan Valley. And we used to have like harvest festivals every year. And of course, cherries, peaches, apricots, these types of orchard fruits are in great abundance in that area. I had been to many of those markets, and there were great festivals over the years. And as a jewelry artist, I noticed, like, years and years ago, that no one made fruit jewelry. So I always only do one-of-a-kind pieces, except for these. This is the only one that I've repeated, and I would repeat them, into dozens and dozens for this particular harvest festival that I worked at every year. And I don't know if you can tell, but they're crystal cherries. And I used to have these little glass leaves. Of course, I can't get them here, but I use just a little crystal. And I think they do look like cherries. Now, because this is the only earring I ever made that was mass-produced, I thought, you know what? Start with the cherries. Just start with the cherries, because that will get me in a pattern of immediate production. So I made 3 pairs of the cherries, and I was right. To be honest with you, you've got to start somewhere, and that's what I did. I don't do mass-produced work. I'm not calling it mass-produced work because I only made 3 pairs of cherries, but it is repetitive work. And when you're a one-of-a-kind artist and you're stuck, as I was, I thought that'd be an icebreaker, and it really was. Okay, this video is probably going to be several parts because, guys, honestly, I think I found another puzzle piece. Like, I think I broke a code to healing. I really do. And, yeah, I'm not going to be able to do this all in one video. Okay, so let's go back. We start with the cherries. I do 3 pairs of the cherries, and all of a sudden, I start thinking again. So, with that said, and I have showed you a couple other pieces, I start making jewelry. Like, interesting, more interesting jewelry. I know a piece like this is not for everyone, but this is the sort of thing I was able to start producing very, very quickly. Like, it wasn't even a matter of time. It just started to happen. And lots of different charm necklaces with graduated colors, and I've been pretty pleased with them. Now, of course, I didn't have a lot to work with, so I really needed to get fairly creative fairly quickly. And I'm sorry, I should have maybe had these a bit more ready to show you, but I do want to show you a few of the things that I'm working on. And it wasn't over a matter of time. It was 3 pairs of cherry earrings later, and I was off to the races. Here, I guess, was a real piece of information for me, is that I can. Okay, now that's a piece of antler. That's white-tailed deer antler, naturally shed, of course. And all my jewelry has got adjustable bits on it for different neck sizes. This one's a choker. But, yeah, right away, almost right away. I did the 3 pairs of cherries, and it just started rolling. But it didn't stop there. And, wow, have I got a lot to tell you guys. Now, not only was my confidence shaken in regards to my ability to design anything. My ability to assemble things felt compromised. I didn't know if I had the skill set to put jewelry together anymore. But something else, I would sit and I would think about making jewelry, and I would think, no, I can't do that because I'd have to build collections. Well, I always built collections. I mean, yeah, I do kind of one-off pieces, but trust me when I say, you know, when I'm doing tribal pieces like this, that would be an easier to wear piece. You know, this one would be a more showy piece. But I've done complete collections. There's bracelets, there's earrings, there's more necklaces, more complicated, more simple, like entire collections. I knew how to make collections, and I didn't really have to think about it once I started working. I mean, I started working and immediately started thinking, marketing, merchandising, I need to build collections. I mean, I got it. And though I am using lower cost materials, I'm not able to afford gemstones right now, but I'm using really pretty glass beads and crystals. And again, like collections, series of pieces where people could buy multiples. And yes, I've got matching earrings, I've got matching bracelets. I think last time I talked to you guys, I had about 60 pieces. Well, I've got almost 200 pieces now, and the jewelry collection is moving along. But that's only the tip of the iceberg. I'm going to stop now. I'm going to move ahead to video number 2 so this doesn't get too long. Holy cow, I honestly believe I have found a bit of information, and a bit of information that every one of us could apply to our own life when it comes to restoring our careers. Now, I realize that not all of you are artists, but there is a huge number of artists, designers, decorators, musicians, writers, photographers here at the channel. I also do recognize that many of you have got a different type of career. We've got many psychiatrists here at the channel. We've got lawyers. We've got bankers. We've got real estate agents. We have a wide variety of people. But I do believe this take the first step approach could be used to restore any career or give you that boost of confidence to take a step that's a little out of the box, a little out of your comfort zone to really help you meet your full potential. Guys, I'm Kim. I love you guys lots. I hope you guys are having a great narc-free day, and I'll see you at part 2.